So, obviously there's an alarm on the system right now. Not too sure what happened at that point, but as far as the procedure on dealing with alarms, when the event, and I'm gonna call it an event, when the event comes up, you're gonna get a series of commands that you are allowed to do, and they're all distinguished by an LED here, here, and here. So anything that's something that you can interact with the panel will be illuminated here. So for example, the unsilenced audibles is an option that we can do at this point. And it's letting you know that by, it's not grayed out, and you got an LED that's letting you know this is something that you can do at this point. When an alarm first comes in, you have to do things in order, and you're gonna follow these LEDs to kind of guide you through the procedures. So for example, if the alarm had come in right now, the acknowledge alarm LED would be lit, none of these other ones would, okay? Then the next step is to, so you would acknowledge it here, that just stops the panel from beeping. The next step would be to go out into the field and verify if it's a false alarm or if it's an actual alarm. At that point, when you decide that it's a false alarm, you can come back here, and then once this is pressed, you'll have this option which says silence audibles. Once you say it's a false alarm, you'll hit that button, and that'll stop your campus from going off, okay? Once that button's hit, then the next button to illuminate should be your reset button. However, in this case, there's other things involved, like your troubles. There's two troubles on here, which have to be acknowledged first, and now you see the reset button is illuminated, the LED is on, which means that's another option that you can interact with the panel at this point now that I've acknowledged the troubles. Okay? So, as far as the smoke or whatever went into alarm, that's been dealt with, it's been reset. I don't know if anybody's looked into it.
Yeah, like what happened, it was activated on the boys' restroom, they smoke or something.
Okay.
So the detector was with the light red.
Okay.
So what we did, like we normally did with the past systems, we removed that.
Okay.
We cleaned it, put it back, and went back to green.
Okay. Okay, so just to retrace the steps, the alarm went off. You at that point would get this alarm acknowledged here.
Yes.
You press that. You verify if it's a false alarm. You press the signal silence, because that's going to be the next option lit up green like these are. And then if everything's else is okay and there's no other troubles, you see the system reset is illuminated. That's another step we can take now. So everything is in order. You can't press silence before you press acknowledge, and you'll see that by these guides.
Yes.
So at this point, if everybody's okay with it, we can reset the system. Okay. So the alarm's gone, but whatever's going on with these two troubles are still here. So if I acknowledge the troubles, it stops beeping.
So, and that's the other thing, I don't know you want to record, but the heat detector has never been fixed. I brought it to their attention already a lot of times.
What's wrong with it? Do we know what's wrong with it?
No, because it happened when they were still working on it.
Okay.
And was activated, so it shows that it's in room J231.
Okay.
So we went and the light was red on the heat detector, so we let them know. At that point, they should take action right away and have it.
Okay. I can tell you that when I was here the last couple of weeks working on this, the only trouble that was showing up was this D2 smoke detector. That was there before.
That one happens already 2 times.
Yeah. So, again, I don't know the history on this panel, how long it's been in place.
Yes.
But it would be definitely a service call to our service department.
Yeah, that heat detector, I have it on the emails. They was activated, and we bring it to their attention.
Okay. So system's been reset, and we're good there. So I mean,
so right now the only way to remove the troubles is fixing.
The only way to remove troubles is to fix them. They won't just go away. You can't reset it.
Okay.
Yeah,
So that's going to continue staying on there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It'll always display whatever's active until it's been resolved, even if it's an alarm. let's talk about another alarm. Let's talk about a pull station that gets pulled. So pull station gets pulled, same procedure. You acknowledge the alarm here. You go out and verify if there's a real fire or not. You silence the campus, but you don't reset at that point. You have to go and again, this is a district issue. Each district does things differently. Some districts will allow the custodians to reset the pull stations. Other districts want district personnel to come to the site and reset it for you. Whatever your district's protocol is, before you reset the system, the pull station will need to be reset. And by doing that, you have to open it up and reset it internally, put it back together, and then you can reset the system.
We normally do it ourselves.
Okay. Yeah, I always give the speech because
Yeah,
every
no, that's
district's
fine.
different. So that would be the only difference from a smoke detector or heat detector alarm to a pull station. The pull station will have to be reset first before the panel does.
Okay.
Okay. If anybody here in maintenance needs to disable certain things for testing purposes, we'll go into your menu button. Normally, this thing's gonna read normal, correct? Without when there's no troubles.
Yes.
You'll hit your menu button, and then again, these lights are illuminated green for these functions that you are now allowed to do. The function keys are your bypasses. So you can bypass your horns and strobes. You would hit that button. It is touchscreen, and then you hit the execute button. That's going to give you a trouble every time you disable one of these things because it's telling you, hey, you're doing something that's not going to let the system work the way it's supposed to. So it's always going to give you a warning. It's not a bad thing. It's just a description that says the panel's not going to fully function at this time. So I hit the bypass horn strobes, execute. Bypass elevator controls, execute. Whatever you need to disable for whatever purpose you need to disable them for is here in the function key. To re-enable them, you just press the enable horns and strobes, execute, and you're good. You know, it's no longer a condition on the screen. So that's more for maintenance and us if we come in to do service on the system. That way, if somebody's here working on the system during school hours, it won't accidentally set off the horns and strobes.
Do you know how, like for example, the majority of the activations, they're going to be false alarms. So we just go right away and check. And I know you're not in that department. The other day, the issue that we have when we call for them just to let them know there was a false alarm, they transfer leads to, I believe, three different extensions. That's the monitoring department. And I know you're not involved right there, so I think it's something that we need to say. If we have one number and she called the number that was put right here.
That's because we didn't have the password.
Oh.
When they called.
But then when we had the password, they still,
Okay. After you got
the
you had
password is South El Monte High School.
Oh.
Okay. Was it on the same call?
The second time.
Different call?
Yes.
Okay. That I can't answer.
No, I know. I'm
But-
just letting you
Yeah.
know. Maybe
Okay.
we can put this straight. Like
Yeah.
we would like to go to one extension and that's it.
Yes.
How long
Okay.
before the fire department calls us?
Depends on your protocol. So every account can be handled differently. Some accounts are call before dispatch. So let's just say the alarm goes off. They're gonna call the first person on the list and say, hey, we got an alarm, do you want us to dispatch? If that person doesn't answer, they go to the next one until the threshold has been met, and then they just automatically dispatch. Other accounts are dispatched immediately, so you gotta be on it as soon as you figure out it's a false alarm. I would call the fire department first, and then call them. Tell them it's a false alarm, because
Because when we got the call,
Yeah.
we didn't know they
The
were
fire-
already on their way.
the fire department will probably be here within 10 minutes. So I would call them first to try to cancel the engine, and then call them and let them know it's a false alarm.
Okay.
But the usual procedure would be, you call them, you give them your address, you tell them it's a false alarm, and your password if there is one. So also too, if you're gonna be doing a test, you're gonna wanna call these people, give them the address, your passcode, and tell them you're gonna be doing a fire alarm test between these times, so to disregard the signals.
Then we need to have we need to have a password, or we can do it without.
You can choose to not have a password.
Okay. Maybe at the end is much better not to have a
Well,
password.
Who's on the list? Who's the first one to be called?
I don't know yet. They haven't told me anything.
That's if there's that particular account. I'm not sure if you guys are set up that
It
way.
should. It
If there's
should.
a list, and I know you're the first one to be called, then I need to be aware.
Yes.
The call's gonna come in, and it's gonna come in to you.
Yes, but they haven't.
Okay,
So we fix that today. I
Or
hope.
if he's not here,
exactly, we know,
who's
okay,
the second
the
person?
next person in line.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah.
So very important, if you guys are gonna do a fire drill, call these people, put it on test. If you have a schedule of fire drills, like one every month, and you know what date it's gonna be on, you can call them ahead of time, you know, a couple of days or the day before, and say, tomorrow, by the way, between this time and this time, system needs to be on test.
Okay.
So
That's pretty much it.
okay.
As you can see, the descriptions on the devices are pretty specific as to where it is, so it gives you a good indication of where the issue is. Plus, like I said, we just updated this 3 weeks ago, so it'll illuminate on the alarm where it's at in the campus.
Oh, okay.
I believe the old map wasn't an exact replica of the current campus. It was many years ago, and I'm not even sure if it works.
Don't work for the longest.
Mhm.
So, like right there, it says D2 classroom, smoke. So, I think that's the description. Also we need to identify good, because
What's
we don't know
D2?
which is D2.
Right. I don't know.
No, I
Yeah. I don't
I'm
know
just-
where these descriptions came from, whether they were a description on a print, whether they were a description from a long time ago, and when they upgraded the system, they just transferred those descriptions. I'm not too familiar with that.
Yeah. Okay.
But what I can tell you is when it says not responding, it means that the smoke detector is not being seen by the panel, so it's either removed or the wiring to that base has been turned off or taken off, or there's some kind of issue with it not being seen by the panel.
So definitely,
Right, so it's basically missing.
definitely the 231 is still in trouble.
Correct.
So cannot be raised from there until it's fixed. Okay.
Correct.
Okay, I'll let the team know.
Okay.
D2
So-
might be the building D, unit D. I see there's a unit D.
Right. Building D.
Yeah, we have D.
Classroom 2, maybe?
No, we don't have that. So that's why I think it needs to be reprogrammed, because that thing is not helping us that much at all. They like the J231 is perfect. We know where the classroom is and everything. So
Okay.
and we go and we know where the heat detector is, because it's marked there on the bottom, on the ceiling.
Yeah. So the
So-
second one should be D dash the room number. That would be
Yes.
helpful, correct? Okay.
If it's or maybe it has to be a classroom number.
Yes. Okay.
I would probably venture to guess that this is a newer system, so whatever it migrated from, the descriptions migrated with it. And maybe they weren't the greatest back then, so, I mean, it was probably like for like at that point. I can't tell you for sure, but that's just my guess.
Okay.
So
Do you
the
know
fi-
if the field team can easily relabel these? Okay.
I'm sure they can.
because again, when something is going on, so we have to maintenance. Normally, we go to the areas and verify it is or it's not. Right? So it helps a lot.
Yes.
But the information that the girls give us, nobody comes over here. So other than we take action right away, and they are giving us the information. So when they tell us this, we don't know where to go and look.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank
No
you.
problem.